So I know a lot of you are enjoying the lathe videos, so here's another one. Today we're going to be making a brass joint for a Ton Praram queue. The customer's looking to have an additional butt made for it, so obviously I'm going to need to make a new joint to accommodate the existing shaft. So there's the brass blank that we're going to start with. So there's quite a lot of steps to this really. It needs to be turned down to the diameter that's going to actually fit inside the queue. Then it can be cut off, flip it around, and then face it, drill it, tap it, and then it'll be fitted in the queue and taken down to the final size. So stick around and you see how it's done. So the first part we've got to do is the messy part really. So this is a 30mm brass bar. It needs to be taken down to between 13 and 14, depending on what I decide, 13 probably. And that'll be the piece that actually gets fitted into the butt section of the queue. So we've got quite a lot to take off here. So we'll get it running, take the first pass, take a measurement, and then we can set the digital readout on the machine, and then just start to take it down gradually. Brass is super soft, so it's lovely to turn. You can see you've got a nice finish on that. I have just ground this tool bit, so it's razor sharp. So now we know where we are. We're at 29, and now we can take a slightly bigger cut and work our way down to 13.5mm. So I just moved the camera and explained exactly what I was going to do and then forgot to press record. So that's why you can see we're a little bit further along now than we were. So that's pretty much down to the final size. That's 13.97mm. So we'll take it down to 13.5 and we'll leave it at that. So there's only a little bit left to go. So one more thing we're going to do before we take it out of the lathe. Obviously we've got to make sure that the shoulder is straight here. This tool's got a radius on it because it just makes it easier when you turn in brass. It doesn't grab as much. So we need to face the inside here because this is what's going to become, which is what's going to sit against the end of the queue butt. So it needs to be perfectly flat. The other thing that we'll do, we'll make some grooves into this piece so that the adhesive has got something more to grab on, and we'll probably file some flats on there as well, just so that the the adhesive's got a good hold, and then obviously knock the corner off the edge because that's going to be razor sharp there at the moment. So pretty much done, but we'll change tools and come back. So as you can see, we changed tools now, so we've got the part in tool set into the lathe there. So we're just going to face off the inside face, so that'll fit nicely against the queue, make some grooves, and then that'll be pretty much done for this part of the process. There you go. So that's the joint, or the back side of the joint done. Just knock off the corner here with a file, and then we'll flip it around, hold it on here, change the chuck of the machine first so we can hold it more accurately in a collet chuck, and then we can work on the front side, drill it out, tap it. That's pretty much done. So just cut this piece off with a hacksaw, turned it off in the lathe as much as I could, and then cut through the final piece. So you can see it's starting to look more like a joint now. You can imagine that fitted into the butt of the queue. So I just need to face this front off, and then we can work on drilling and tapping the hole with the right thread to take a Ton Praram shaft. So you can see that I've changed the chuck on the lathe. We've got a collet chuck on here now. So we're going to face this off, get rid of this nasty bit in the middle, take the thickness of this down to what it needs to be, and then we can drill it, tap it, and that'll be done. Just needs to be installed. So the next step is to drill and tap. So get the drilling done first. We start with a center drill. So these are just like small, really stubby drill bits, and they're very, very stable, so they won't wander as you're pushing it into the material. So just make sure that that hole is absolutely bang on the center of the part. So I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there's that's looking more like a finished joint now. There's a nice chamfer on the inside. There's a little relief cut taken as well. So we're going to tap it, and then it'll be good to go. So just put a little bit of lubricant in there. You can do this under power, but there's not really any need. The brass is soft and you just get a bit more control doing it this way. So you're going to go back just to clear the chips away from the tap. And there you go, so that's it bottomed out. So we move on to the next tap, which is called a plug tap. So it's the threads of the tap go right down to the end, so it'll tap it right to the bottom of the hole then. Whereas the first one we used isn't like that. The first one we used was just for starting things off. So you can see that there's very little to no thread at all at the end. Whereas the one that's in the chuck now has got threads right to the bottom. You can hear that it's cutting and taking a deeper cut than the last tap. There you go, and that's right to the bottom. So that is it, done. The only thing you'll notice is that the outer diameter of this we didn't take down, so that's still at 30mm. When it goes in the Q-butt, it'll only need to be just under 26, and so there's a bit of work to be done there. I might just take that down a little bit now actually, but apart from that, it's all sorted. So that's it, finished. That can be installed into the new Q-butt that's being made for the customer, and then you'll have two Qs to match the existing Q shaft. So it's pretty straightforward to do this for any joints really, but any standard joints. Paris, Trevor White, Hunter Osborne, Old Hunter O'Byrne, same thing. Anyone that's got a standard thread really. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll put up some more as soon as I can.